Hello viewers. So today we have to dive into the innate immunity. So innate immunity is the immunity is the are a part of immune system which is the first line of defense against pathogens. So innate immunity is due to maybe anatomical barrier or physiological barriers or phagocytic barriers. So innate immunity properties of innate immunity, and then we will discuss components of the innate immunity, that is epithelial barriers, cellular mechanisms and humoral mechanisms. Role of innate immunity in stimulating adaptive immune response, because both these innate immunity and adaptive immune responses, they will communicate and coordinate with each other to achieve the goal of this immunity. So the first one is the this mechanism of innate immunity, and then we'll discuss. So in the components of innate immunity, we see that it have different components, and these components are physiological barriers and anatomical barrier, for example skin and epithelial lining. So innate immunity is the first line of defense against the infection. It is non-specific, fast-acting and present from birth. It provides immediate protection without prior exposure to a pathogen. While in acquired immunity, it needs prior exposure to the pathogen. So it is non-specific, fast-acting and present from birth. Four major barriers of innate immunity are anatomic barriers, physical structures that prevent pathogen entry, for example skin, impermeable barrier with acidic pH due to sebum. The pH will be about 3 to 5, on which these microbes will not be able to grow, and there are multiple layers of skin which will provide barrier against the entry of pathogens. And mucosal surfaces trap microbes in mucus, cilia expel them, and tight junctions between epithelial cells prevent pathogen entry. So first barrier is anatomic barrier. Due to anatomy of our body, that is skin, have multiple layers, keratin and then epidermis and dermis, and have sebaceous glands which will secrete sebum, which will reduce the pH of our skin and will make it unfavorable for the growth of microbes. And mucosal surface will trap microbes in mucus, and with the help of cilia it will expel them out, and also with the help of cuff. Tight junctions prevent epithelial cell entry. So epithelial cells prevent pathogen entry with the help of these tight junctions. Physiologic barriers. So body conditions and chemical factors that inhibit microbial growth, for example temperature. Elevated body temperature in case of fever, infection will inhibit pathogen growth, and low pH stomach acid destroys microbes, and because the stomach the pH will be about 2 or 1. Lysozyme in tears and saliva, it will degrade bacterial cell walls and will provide first line of defense. And interferons are the proteins which will inhibit viral replication. Then the third one barrier is the phagocytic and endocytic barriers. So specialized immune cells that engulf and destroy pathogens. And for example, neutrophils, rapid phagocytic response, macrophages engulf pathogens, produce cytokines, and dendritic cells capture antigens and initiate adaptive immunity. So these neutrophils provide phagocytic response, macrophages engulf pathogens, produce cytokines, and dendritic cells capture antigens and initiate adaptive immunity. Inflammatory barriers. Inflammation recruits immune cells and promotes pathogen clearance. So features are redness, heat, swelling, and pain. So the features are erythema and calor and tumor and dollar. So erythema for redness, calor for heat, and tumor, swelling, and pain, dollar. So there are 5 cardinal signs of inflammatory barrier: erythema, calor, tumor, and dollar, and functionalize. Triggered by cytokines and chemokines, and activation of the complement system enhances phagocytosis and lyses pathogens. So, key innate immune cells are phagocytes, neutrophils, macrophages, and dendritic cells, and natural killer cells kill virus-infected and tumor cells, and mast cells and basophils release histamine during allergic responses. So, pattern recognition in innate immunity uses pattern recognition receptors (PRPs) like toll-like receptors to detect pathogen-associated molecular patterns. And role of innate immunity is immediate response to infection, no memory, but essential for activating adaptive immunity, shapes and directs the later specific immune response. In the summary, the 4 barriers: anatomic barriers block pathogen entry, skin, mucous membranes, and physiologic barriers unfavorable conditions for pathogens, and fever, pH, low pH or acidic pH, lysozyme and interferons, and phagocytic or endocytic barriers destroy pathogens via engulfment, neutrophils, macrophages, and dendritic cells, and inflammatory barriers recruit immune cells, destroy microbes, and cytokines complement inflammation. So here we can see that this innate immunity help to provide this non-specific, fast-acting, and is present from birth, that provide immunity that is non-specific, fast-acting, and present from birth. And the barriers are anatomic barriers and physiological barriers and phagocytic barriers and inflammatory barriers. So all these things will contribute towards this achieving the goal to defend our body against infections. One thing is missing, that complement system also help in the innate immunity. So thank you.